Chris Sutton has delivered a serious warning about one Celtic star he believes must be considered completely untouchable this summer, no matter the price. We have also got Celtic's search for attacking reinforcements taking them all the way to Azerbaijan, a forgotten signing already heading for the exit door, Sutton weighing in on growing fan unrest, and a brilliant tribute to one of Celtic's greatest ever figures from the TRN SMT stage. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic's search for attacking reinforcements has taken them to Azerbaijan, with reports linking the club to Qarabağ forward Camilo Duran as another name enters the frame. While uncertainty remains over Kelechi Iheanacho's future, reports from Scotland suggest the Colombian striker has emerged as a potential target for Martin O'Neill's side. According to the Scottish Sun, Duran is being monitored after an outstanding season with the Azerbaijani champions. He registered 15 goals and 10 assists across the campaign, with 5 of those goals coming on the Champions League stage, performances that have understandably caught attention across Europe. With 2 years remaining on his current contract, any move would require a fee, though reports suggest a deal could be completed for around £2 million. That represents serious value for a 24-year-old with proven goal-scoring numbers and genuine European experience. Celtic's striker department remains one of the biggest areas of uncertainty heading into the new season. Thomas Kvankara and Junior Adamu have both returned to their parent clubs following unsuccessful loan spells, and Dyson Maida continues to attract interest from elsewhere. Meanwhile, Kelechi Iheanacho finished the season in sensational form, scoring 6 goals in his final 9 substitute appearances, many of them crucial during the title run-in. Yet despite Celtic holding an option to extend his contract, no new deal has been offered. Keltsar here understands Iheanacho wants to stay. That leaves Celtic needing to explore multiple options at once. Duran fits a profile the club has targeted before, young in his peak years and with a proven scoring record on the big stage. Whether the interest develops into something concrete remains to be seen, but with pre-season approaching and O'Neill desperate to avoid last summer's recruitment mistakes, the striker search is clearly well underway. Now for the main story, as Chris Sutton has issued a clear and serious warning over Alistair Johnston's future, insisting the Celtic defender must be considered completely untouchable this summer, regardless of any offers that come in. Johnston's performances at the World Cup are doing little to quieten the speculation around him. The Celtic right-back endured an injury-hit campaign in Glasgow, with a hamstring problem sidelining him on 2 separate occasions and preventing him from building any real consistency. But on the international stage with Canada, he has reminded everyone exactly why he matters, earning rave reviews, including during Canada's stunning 6-0 demolition of Qatar, their first ever Men's World Cup victory. Johnston was heavily involved throughout, still bursting forward on the overlap in the 97th minute. Performances like that inevitably attract attention, and with Celtic already braced for a summer of significant change, Sutton believes the club need to make their position crystal clear immediately. Speaking to Record Sport, he said, "It would be unthinkable to allow Johnston to go this summer. There are going to be a lot of players leaving. I'd expect Maida and Hatate to go, and it's hard to see Engels remaining with talk of Nottingham Forest coming back in, and Crystal Palace also interested. That is a lot of key players going out the building, so there's no way they can also sell Johnston at this stage, regardless the price. There is already a huge job required to get this squad ready for the domestic campaign, but importantly, the Champions League qualifier. Celtic will need to bring players in, but they'll also need to keep hold of their experienced campaigners. That paints a stark picture of just how much turnover Celtic could face this summer. Maida continuing to attract interest, Hatate's future uncertain for months, and Engels once again being watched by English clubs. Against that backdrop, losing Johnston as well would leave O'Neill with an almost impossible rebuilding job. Sutton's message is simple. Whatever else happens this summer, Johnston cannot be one of the departures. In other news, Chris Sutton has thrown his support behind the Celtic Fans Collective's latest campaign, warning that supporters' growing unrest is entirely understandable given what has gone before. The Fans Collective have launched a fresh push aimed at increasing pressure on the club hierarchy ahead of the new season. Frustrated by the continued lack of updates regarding backroom staff appointments, recruitment plans, boardroom changes, and supporter engagement, the group has begun publishing previous statements and commitments made by interim chairman Brian Wilson, principal shareholder's son Ross Desmond, and chief executive Michael Nicholson, aiming to highlight promises supporters feel have not yet been delivered. Sutton, who enjoyed some of the best years of his career under Martin O'Neill and remains close to the manager, understands exactly why fans are nervous. Writing in the Daily Record, he said, "I totally understand why fans are nervous for what is ahead the rest of this summer. The Celtic Fans Collective have already put out a statement criticising the board, and it's still only June. But I get it. They've seen this before. I got some stick for raising the alarm bell early in pre-season 12 months ago, but it was because I could see the potential problems coming down the pipeline. There's time to avoid a repeat, but it is marching on." Interim chairman Brian Wilson said in his interview on club television last week it was going to be a busy time. Then get to it. There is still time, but it should not have boiled down to this point again. The transfer window has only recently opened and players are not due back at Lennox Town until the 26th of June, yet there is a growing feeling among supporters that momentum should already be building. Questions remain over the coaching staff, recruitment has yet to properly accelerate, and there has been little communication on several issues supporters were promised updates on. With O'Neill officially back in charge, fans are increasingly looking to the board to match the ambition the manager has shown since returning to the dugout. In other news, Shinya Yamada's Celtic career appears to be heading towards an early and disappointing conclusion, with reports suggesting he could already be on his way back to Japan less than 12 months after arriving. The forward joined Parkhead last summer with genuine promise after making a name for himself at Kawasaki Frontale, the same club that previously supplied Celtic with Reo Hatate. According to Sunsport, Yamada is expected to leave Celtic this summer after failing to establish himself in the first-team picture. It represents a remarkably short stay for a player who arrived hoping to follow the successful pathway carved out by other Japanese players before him. Things never quite clicked at the Hoops. Yamada made just 12 appearances and struggled to make a meaningful impact whenever opportunities came his way. Lastly, TRNSMT got underway in Glasgow on Friday night, and it did not take long for a Celtic connection to emerge from the main stage. Rain did little to dampen spirits as the three-day festival kicked off with former Verve frontman Richard Ashcroft headlining the opening night. The weekend still has plenty to come, with Kasabian and Lewis Capaldi set to top the bill over the next 2 evenings, with Capaldi's return to the festival scene particularly anticipated by fans, but it was Ashcroft who provided the first football moment of the weekend. Before launching into one of his songs, the 54-year-old took a moment to recognise some of football's most influential figures, including Celtic's greatest ever manager. Addressing the Glasgow Green crowd, Ashcroft said, "Saw a beautiful documentary the other night. This one's for Jock Stein, Sir Matt Busby and Bill Shankly. Scotland's given so much to football, so we appreciate you." The tribute was warmly received. Jock Stein's place in football history requires little explanation. The legendary Celtic manager guided the club to European Cup glory in 1967, becoming the first British side to lift the trophy and building one of the most iconic teams the game has ever seen. Nearly 6 decades on, his influence continues to be recognised far beyond Scottish football, and moments like this from one of music's biggest names show just how far that legacy reaches. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.